When anyone mentions Stratford Memorial Minor Softball, the first name that comes to mind is Jim Shackleton. Growing up on a farm outside of Stratford, Jim was surprised to see that there was no minor softball in town when he moved here. In the fall of 1972, he approached Glen Querengesser to see if he would be interested in helping him create a boys' softball team, and with that, his legacy began. In 1973, the first boys' team was formed. Jim was not only the driving force behind forming the team, he also sponsored and coached. That summer, the Pee Wee team played the WOAA League, and in their first season with 12 wins and 2 losses, went on to win the group championship.
Jim played softball himself, and so did I, and there was no softball in Stratford. So Jim decided that, along with my father, who also was an owner of Stratford Memorials, that we should have softball in Stratford. So that's what he did. He got diamonds. King Lear, he said that he would pay for the diamonds to be done if the school board would let him, and they said yes, that he could do it. So, along with Don Yunt and Ron Gibb and Glen Querengesser and Ron Patterson, they started the softball organization by building diamonds, and then they ordered uniforms, and then they got coaches, and it just went on, and it grew, and we started with one team, and it just developed into many, many teams.
He was a great family man. Jim really loved his family, and some might say that he started the first team because it was 2 boys, because I know that he wanted softball for his boys, because he grew up in the country just like I did, and the country had a lot of softball, but Stratford didn't. So we all played softball in the country, and now living in town, Ian and Brian had a chance to play a little bit of softball out in the country. I believe they played in Sebringville maybe first. And anyhow, the girls, they could play in town because the girls had a league. But it was Jim's dream, I think, not just to build a league, but to make a place, first of all, for his own boys. And of course, that led to so much more. And to see what's happened in the last 50 years here in Stratford in softball is just one great tribute to Jim Shackleton, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, I don't think I have to tell anyone how to remember him. I think they all remember him the way he was, you know, with the smile on his face. And he was the most optimistic guy in the world. That's truth.
Well, Jim was just a very giving person. He loved people. That was just the way he was. He wouldn't stand up here and do this now. He'd say, no, I don't want, I'll just stand in the background. But that's just the way he was. I'm just proud, I guess. I don't know what else to tell you. It's just a wonderful feeling to have such a wonderful husband.
In 1979, Jim was selected as the Stratford Minor Sports Council Sportsperson of the Year. In 1983, he was honored by the Ontario Amateur Softball Association with an Outstanding Service Award. Sadly, Jim passed away on April 30th, 2009 at the age of 69. Jim is survived by his wife Connie and their children, Brian, Ian, Joan, and Judy. Described by many as a generous, supportive, positive, and energetic man, his vision for minor softball has continued to touch thousands of lives as Stratford Memorial Minor Softball Association has grown from 1 to 30 teams strong.